A new rumor claims that Taika Waititi has actually submitted multiple scripts for his upcoming Star Wars film, despite him recently admitting that he hadn't finished the script whatsoever. Let's get into this here. During his appearance at the Toronto International Film Festival, TIFF, Waititi presented an award to his fellow director Sean Levy, saying after Levy has had his way with that franchise like a cruel, indiscriminate virus, he'll move on to another and another and another, and then eventually probably Star Wars. He then admitted, unlike me, I hope he manages to finish a script for that, implying that he has not finished. I don't know if it's even implying. He's explicitly saying he has not finished the script. You can watch it here to figure out whether he's being sarcastic or genuine. It's hard to know whether Waititi's being serious or not because he kind of plays this chameleon character all the time where he's like, oh, is he joking or is he not? You don't really know. Leave that up to you to find out. I actually think he was kind of being serious here, even though it might have been an offhand remark. That is my opinion. But shortly after these comments began making the rounds, I guess there were a bunch of people on social media speculating. I don't know if there were any actual like scoopers or people that claim to be scoopers saying this, but I guess there were people saying that his Star Wars movie was basically dead based off of these comments, or these comments were evidence that his movie was dead, which I think there probably is some legitimacy to that, or at least there's speculation that it's not going so well. It's obviously been 3 years since the movie was announced. I think it was 2022, May 4. Over 3 years now then. But this is what Snyder said on an appearance of the Hot Mic podcast on the John Roca YouTube channel. He said the Taika Waititi Star Wars movie is dead rumor that's going around. Listen, I'll grant you that that is it more likely than not this movie does not happen. Probably. I'll go 51% it doesn't happen, 49% it does. But it's not dead. Taika has turned in, I think, multiple drafts at this point, and other writers as well have, touched it, and Taika owes them another draft after the strike is over. So I don't think it's dead yet. Is it not in great shape? Maybe. So that is the rumor. He's saying that the movie isn't dead. Taika submitted multiple drafts, and then he actually has to submit another draft as well, whereas we've got Taika here saying he hasn't submitted, he seemingly hasn't submitted anything. He's saying hasn't managed to finish the script. I mean, that implies to me that he hasn't finished it, hasn't submitted it. Maybe he submitted a bunch of rough drafts or something like that. You can make that argument. So he hasn't actually got a good working script completed. I guess maybe that's how you can interpret it. I guess that is a possibility, right? But just to kind of give you out where this movie has been in place, we had these comments from Waititi back in 2022. I'm trying to write the Star Wars idea at the moment. I've got to see how that goes, because once I submit it, that might determine when it gets made, or if it gets made even, implying that they could say no, we don't want that. I mean, that is seemingly what they told Damon Lindelof. They were like, we don't want that idea, but it seems like they're still kind of going with that idea. I guess they just didn't like his script with the Charmin Obey, Chinoy, I think that's her name, Daisy Ridley sequel movie that they're supposedly doing, or that they announced at Star Wars Celebration. But he said, I'm cool as well to take 6 months off and just go hang out with my kids. So he didn't really seem like it's that big of a deal to him to work on a Star Wars movie or a Star Wars script. More recently, he was asked by Deadline, speaking of different environments, Taika, there's also a lot of talk about what you are working on. Now it's writing and perhaps starring in a Star Wars movie. He responded, yeah, that rumor's about 3 years old. It wasn't a rumor. They announced it on the official Star Wars website. And maybe acting in it is what he's talking about there, but they clearly announced it on the StarWars.com website May 4, 2020. All I'll say is, God forbid I make a Star Wars film about people sitting on mountains playing flutes. Deadline's Dominic Patton then informed him, well, they kind of went there with the last few Star Wars movies with Luke Skywalker. He replied, okay, then I won't do that for sure. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy also told Empire Magazine that the film is still happening, but she indicated that the issue was the third act. He said, Taika is working away. He's just, and he won't get mad at me for saying this, slow. We've got a couple of acts. We need a third. However, in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter at the end of May this year, Waititi provided an update on the film and revealed he was struggling with the middle part of the film, not the third act. He says, I've got a really good idea for it. It's just as with all films, it's this middle part. You're like, what's going to happen? And then you look at all of those films that are so great. You're like, well, I guess they can't meet some smuggler with an alien sidekick. He noted it's not a top. He went on to note that it's not a top priority. For the most part, I would like to take a few holidays and go and follow Rita around, just be her little tour boy and hang out with her and just watch her perform and get her a cup of tea backstage. So That's the latest rumor. I don't know what's going on here. I think it's just kind of wild that you would come out with a rumor where saying that he's submitted a bunch of scripts when he's basically said like he couldn't finish it. Again, I guess the implication is there that he hasn't gotten to a good script yet. I guess that's how you have to interpret it, right? If you actually believe the rumor. Otherwise, you don't believe the rumor and you believe what Taika said. He hasn't submitted the script and it's he's working on it still. So that is the rumor. Taika Waititi has submitted multiple scripts and he's actually supposed to submit another one after this strike is over. But let me know what you think of this rumor in the comments below.
Subscribe for more.